If you're wide awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling and running mental replays of your entire life, then this is for you. Let's talk about what's happening to your sleep, or more specifically, the complete and total destruction of it. Because this isn't just about being a little tired, this is broken sleep, fragmented nights, and exhaustion that just doesn't make sense. You are not alone, I promise. Midlife insomnia is real, it is relentless, and it is not your fault. But here's what I want you to know. It's also not something you just have to accept. So today, we're digging into what's actually driving this disruption, what's making it worse, and what you can do tonight to start reclaiming your rest. Because sleep is not a luxury, it's a basic foundation. And if yours is shot, then we need to fix it. Let's dig in. Welcome to the Love Your Naked Ass podcast, the Midlife Rebellion edition. I'm your host, Kimberly Riggins, health and life coach, holistic nutritionist, and your go-to bullshit detector for all things midlife. If you've ever rolled your eyes at the phrase aging gracefully, you're my kind of rebel. Because midlife isn't about slowing down. It's about showing up, speaking up, and maybe flipping a few tables along the way. So grab your coffee or your cocktail. I'm not here to judge. It's time we raise some hell, laugh a little, and love our naked asses again. Let's do this. Okay, so let's dig in, and let me be upfront right away. I am not somebody who struggles with chronic insomnia every single night. Truth is, most nights I'm out pretty fast. But I would be absolutely lying to you if I said my sleep is perfect. Far from it. Because there are some nights, OMG, they are a whole damn event. I'm sure some of you can relate. There are nights when I'm literally flipping onto my left side, back to my right side, onto my back, and then back to my left side, back to my back, thinking, surely this is the position that's going to help me fall asleep. And then I realize, nope, it's not going to happen tonight. And then when I finally think I'm going to doze off, then the heat hits. And I'm not talking about, oh, it's a little warm in here. I'm talking about the freaking oven door opened and someone is putting it directly in my face kind of heat. Can you feel me? And then the whole production starts all over again. I kick off the covers, 30 seconds later, I'm freaking freezing. Back come the covers, and so on and so forth. And I repeat this cycle 3 or 4 more times. And don't even get me started about the legs. Have any of you experienced restless legs? Holy shit, it's the worst. That creepy, crawly, can't get comfortable, restless leg thing that literally makes me want to get up out of bed and walk to another state just to make them stop. And if that's not enough, let's talk about the bathroom breaks. Because there are nights, usually around my cycle, that I am now making my 3rd trip to the bathroom, which means I'm fully awake now, overly frustrated, and doing the math in my head on how many hours of sleep I can still theoretically get if I fall asleep in the next 8 minutes. So, although I don't suffer from chronic insomnia, some of the sleep issues that I've experienced suck ass. So yes, I hear you, I understand you, I see you, and I genuinely hate it right along with you. But here's what I've learned, and really what I want to pass on to you, is that those nights aren't random chaos. What I've learned is there's a reason my body starts doing all of this. And once I understood what was driving it, well, then I stopped just white-knuckling it because I didn't need to anymore, and I started actually doing something about it. And that's what today's episode is really about. So let's talk about what's actually going on here. Because people who say, you're just stressed, or cut out all caffeine, let's be real, that's the most useless pieces of advice on the planet. Yeah, thanks. Didn't think of that. Here's the deal. The real driver for a lot of midlife women with their sleep issues is hormonal. Big surprise. But let me explain. As you move through perimenopause and into menopause, estrogen and progesterone start fluctuating. And progesterone in particular, that doesn't get talked about enough. Progesterone has natural sedative effects in the brain. Its metabolites interact with GABA receptors, the same receptors that help calm your nervous system and support sleep. So as your progesterone starts to decline, what used to be easy sleep suddenly isn't. Falling asleep gets harder, staying asleep gets harder, and those 2 or 3 a.m. wake-ups start showing up out of nowhere for no obvious reason. This is not a character flaw. This is not a stress management failure. This is biology. And then here's the other kicker. The less you sleep, the more cortisol your body pumps out, because your body reads sleep deprivation as a threat. Fun times. And cortisol, that wakes you up. So now you can't sleep because your cortisol is elevated, and your cortisol is elevated because you can't sleep. See the vicious loop? And I know, it feels impossible to break. The other thing I see a lot is what I like to call the panic spiral. You wake up at 3 a.m., you glance at the clock, you start calculating exactly how many hours of sleep you're losing, and now your brain is fully online running threat assessments. The frustration of being awake when you know you should be asleep makes your nervous system even more activated, which makes sleep even less likely. You cannot force yourself to sleep. I know because I've tried, and the harder you try, the further away it gets. So the answer is to not try harder. The answer is to set the conditions. So what does that mean? Let me give you some sleep hacks, and I don't love that word hacks, but sleep hacks to reclaim your nights. Here's where we get really practical. Because knowing the problem is only useful if we actually do something about it. The first thing is build a real wind down routine and protect it like it's gold. Your body is not a light switch. You can't go from full speed to dead sleep in 30 seconds. You need a transition. So, with that said, an hour before bed, ideally more, start dimming everything down. Lights, noise, your brain. Whether that's a warm shower, some light stretching, maybe a few pages in a real book you can actually hold, or a cup of herbal tea. Just find what signals your nervous system that the day is done. The worst thing you can do is scroll on your phone, by the way. And then do this consistently, because consistency is what trains your body to respond. Number 2, leading into something I've already mentioned, the phone is not your friend at 10 p.m. Listen, I know, I get it, I've done it too, but the blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, which is the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. You're essentially telling your brain it's noon when it's midnight. So, ladies, Instagram, emails, TikTok, none of that is worth the trade-off. Put the phone down. Turn it off. Charge it across the room if you need to. Your future well-rested self's going to thank you, I promise. Number 3, your sleep environment matters more than you think. Cool temperatures support sleep. A dark room supports sleep. A mattress that's older than your youngest kid probably does not support sleep. So if you're fighting your environment every night, fix it. There's things out there like white noise machines, invest in a pair of blackout curtains, get a fan, a weighted blanket, experiment. Make your bedroom a place your nervous system actually wants to power down in. Makes sense, doesn't it? Number 4, Handle your stress during the day. I get it. This one sounds simple, but I know it isn't. But here's the truth. Whatever you don't process during the day will be waiting for you at 3 a.m., I promise. And I'm not talking about doing a 45-minute meditation practice here. I'm talking about 5 minutes of journaling, maybe a walk around the block, or 3 deep breaths before you get out of the car. Just give yourself small outlets during the day, every day. Why is that important? Because that means less cortisol pressure at night. I can tell you this. I started doing 5-minute somatic exercises daily, and they change depending on my mood and how I'm feeling in my body. But those small moves and doing them consistently has 100% made the difference. So again, those small moves, adding in consistent application, that's it. That will help. All right. So let's talk about your action step now that I've given you 4 hacks to reclaim your sleep. Here's your one thing I want you to do this week. Start a wind down routine tonight and track how you feel in the morning for at least 7 days. That's it. Not 7 new habits, not trying to implement all 4 of these things, just one. And starting with the wind down routine is essential. Okay? So pick your version of a wind down because it's different for everybody. No screens, something quiet, dim the lights, and commit to it every night this week. And keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate this. And then what I want you to do is write down each morning how you slept and how you feel. And look for the patterns. Because your body will start to respond faster than you think. You just have to give it a chance. So why does sleep matter in midlife so much? I want to say this clearly. Sleep is not a reward for being productive. Sleep is not something you earn. Sleep is essential. Sleep is the foundation. Because here's the thing. When you're not sleeping, you're not recovering, which means your muscles aren't rebuilding, your hormones can't regulate, and your brain can't consolidate memory or manage your emotions. Also, lacking sleep also makes your hunger hormones go haywire. Think about it. Have you ever had trouble sleeping and then suddenly everything in the snack cabinet looks like a solution? Your cortisol levels stay elevated, which tells your body to hold on to fat, especially around your midsection. Your decision-making tanks, your patience tanks, your motivation tanks. I hear women say, I'll sleep when I'm dead, like it's a badge of honor. Ladies, it's not. It is a fast track to burnout, and our midlife bodies cannot absorb that the way they used to. So, if you want to feel strong, think clearly, move well, and show up for your life, then sleep is not optional. It is the thing. Everything else builds on top of it. So here's what I want you to take away today. Stop fighting your body at night and start setting it up for success before you ever get into bed. The wind down routine, the dark room, the phone turned off, the stress outlets. None of this is complicated, but it requires intention and it requires you deciding that your sleep is worth protecting. You are not too busy to sleep. You are not someone who just doesn't need much sleep. You are a woman in midlife whose body is asking, no, let me rephrase that, begging for restoration. And the most rebellious thing you can do is give it exactly that. Take care of yourself. Your sleep matters. You matter. All right, let's talk about next week. Next week, we're talking about your core, and not the way you're probably thinking. We're going beyond the flat stomach conversation and getting into what core strength actually does for your body, how it affects your posture, your back, your balance, and yes, even your confidence. Because here's what I've learned firsthand. When your body feels solid and strong, your mindset follows. We're talking about how to build it, why it matters in midlife specifically, and the simple moves you can start this week. You are definitely going to want to tune in for this one. I'll see you next time. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Love Your Naked Ass podcast, the Midlife Rebellion edition. If you're loving the show, be sure to smash that subscribe button, drop a rating, or leave a review. Because we're not here to tweak the old narrative. We're here to torch it, rewrite it, and make damn sure every woman knows midlife is her prime. Don't forget to join me on Substack at Rebel Midlife, where we get raw, real, and a little rebellious about what it means to thrive in this chapter. I'm Kimberly Riggins, signing off with this reminder: midlife isn't a crisis, it's your comeback story. Catch you next time, Rebel.